Shoot. I thought I was going to show like the little screenshot. Hold on, let me do it again. What? What am I doing wrong? You know, in Twitter, how oh wait, do I have to wait longer? You know,
yeah, sometimes the preview doesn't turn up.
Yeah, and it's just got the URL, and it's like, what the?
I think it does.
It's not, and I've already waited like 10, 20 seconds, and it still hasn't. Something went wrong, but don't fret. Let's give it another shot. Yeah, right.
Well, I've retweeted it. So.
Shoot. Let me jump back and forth. Oh, okay. Wait, no, I didn't. Boo. All right, so let me do it this way. I'm going to share this with the world of Twitter. Share this with the world of the where's the other one? There it is. Well, while I'm doing this, welcome everyone to WyzGyz Entertainment. This is your host, Wyman. We are joined today by our very special guest, Russ.
Hi there.
Creator of Only Death Can Save Us. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm a bit tired, but I was up late last night.
Oh, were you?
With Drew and, yeah. But and I've been out training this evening as well. Yeah, it's a good way to end the evening though.
Training as in like working out and stuff?
Karate, yeah.
Nice.
I went and did an hour and a half in the dojo tonight. So.
Oh my gosh. Are you a what is this term? Is it sensei?
Well, yeah, I mean,
Sifu.
I have instructed. Yeah, it's sensei because it's karate.
Sensei, that's right.
Yeah. But at the moment, I don't do a lot of teaching. I tend to train more now.
Right.
But, yeah, it's good.
Fantastic. That's awesome. You were present in a recent chat from. I think it was it Comedy Mark's channel?
Yeah, I go over and see those guys. They're funny. They make
me laugh. For sure. And they had what is it? The relaunch of oh man, I forget the name of that part of the channel stream. Well, I mean. They cover all these different topics, and they usually have a theme, and this one was kung fu.
Oh yeah, I was in and out of there. Yeah, I gave him a couple of answers and then ran away.
Yeah, and it looked like you got him right, from what I remember.
Yeah, I mean, I gave him some correct spelling of Tai Chi, but I didn't realize that they'd got the wrong answer in the first place. And kata, which is form
answer in the first place.
Yeah, kata, as in another word for forms, as I'm more used to hearing it. I studied Taekwondo.
Oh, right.
So
the karate I do now is a Korean form of karate, so it has Taekwondo forms or kata in it. And I used to do Taekwondo when I was a younger man, but not now. Too much jumping. I can't do that. I'm gravitationally challenged now.
Oh man! Oh, you think you're gravitationally challenged? You should see me. The weirdest thing about me and martial arts is I thoroughly loved it. When I first went into it, I was a gangly little teenager.
Yeah.
I studied it in college, and so I was like, everyone thought I was thin like a pencil. And when I got out of it, I actually built some muscle, and it's from all the repetition of the workouts, the crunches, the push-ups. And but the weirdest thing was, and I'm not sure if it's a mental thing or just the way I'm approaching it, but like whenever I do things like roundhouse kicks, I feel like my thighs are really heavy.
Yeah.
So I did it.
Tough.
Yeah, you bring them up as though you're going to do a front snap kick, but then you do a spin at the last minute and carry the leg across. But that and swimming, it always feels like my legs are really heavy.
Oh wow. Yeah, well, I actually have really heavy legs. So they do feel heavy, yes.
Yeah, I mean,
so yeah.
I mean, that might be part of the reason why the legs are so much stronger than the arms, right?
Yeah, because they are big pieces of kit. They're your biggest muscles.
Yeah.
I think you've got a back muscle. I think the muscles down your back are the biggest, but then after that, it's kind of like your thigh muscles. They're very large muscles, and if you're working them in martial arts, they will get dense. That it's not just about building them up. They just get very dense because there's lots of impact. So
yeah, that and your calves, they get really solid.
Yeah, my calves are huge. I have a small problem with the arch of my foot anyway, so my calves are a bit bizarre. So they're too big anyway. So yeah, they do get big. Yeah.
Yeah, my ex dug them, but my kids always they kind of marveled at them or made fun of them. I don't know.
Yeah, when you can't get your trousers on over the top of them, it's a bit difficult.
It's like, oh, these fit the other day.
Yeah, quite strange. But yeah, I wouldn't be without it. I couldn't stop now, not at my age. If I stopped, that would be the end of me, I think. Well, so I kind of have to keep doing it.
Even if you stop something like that, there are other styles of martial arts that you can still do. I mean, you could like transition into say Tai Chi. I know that's the one everyone thinks of because they associate that with old people in a park. but I mean, it's a legit martial art.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
It's all about redirecting the other person, your opponent's energy.
That's right. I mean, all martial arts at the end of the day, there's only so many ways you can pivot your body. There's only so many ways you can do things with your joints, unless of course you're double jointed. But for most people, there's only so many things you can do. So even the hard arts compared to the soft ones, at the end of the day, they kind of blend. So you do a lot of the similar things when you go up through the grades before you get to your black belt. Your the art is shaping your body. You're repeating all those things, and then after you get your black belt, you start learning how to use the art, and it's pretty much like that for any martial art. As you move further up the art, you start making it work for you and finding your strengths. So
yeah, and you can use it to you can use it to improve your meditation and your focus and your sense of peace. It's really cool. I enjoy it.
Well, when you train, you tend to forget everything else because all you're worried about is, is my stance right? Am I doing this right? Am I doing that right? Working on the physical effort on it, and you forget the rest of your life.
Yeah,
it's an amazing thing. Yeah,
that's a very, very good point. That's something that I kind of lost track of. That's really accurate.
Yeah.
You could be having the worst day of of what you think is the worst day of your life, and you walk into the studio,
Yeah.
and you pay your respects to those who came before you, and you start your workout, and then it seems like everything else just disappears.
Yeah, it all goes away because you're just focused on what you're doing there and then. So it's definitely my place to go to unwind. Definitely.
Out of curiosity, welcome, Rotten Glory.
Hi, Rot.
How's it going? One other question: do you happen to, well, one of many? Did you ever compete in tournaments?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I used to
You
compete. Used to compete with fighting and kata. So I did, mat work. We did. I went under several systems. So like you'd have multiple judges or flags or point systems.
Oh right.
I did pretty much all the different systems and fought. I didn't get to fighting in tournaments till later on. So which was at the end of the, because you go into different sections, but I did enjoy my time at the tournaments. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I only competed in one, but it was a hugely fun experience.
It is. It's really good for you. It's good to compete. I think tournaments have changed now because there's so much sport karate going on, and as much as I have great respect for the athletes in sport karate, they're and I know some karateka who are both sport and traditional. I mean, they're exceptional athletes. Personally, I don't like that approach to karate. I prefer a more traditional approach. And when the competitions I was doing had that more traditional feel to them, but the now there's so many health and safety guards and all kinds of stuff you have to do, and it all seems to be focused into sport karate. So
right.
yeah, I don't do tournaments anymore.
Yeah, I did kata forms, and then I did one match. I was only entered in for one match. I don't know how they planned it out, but I only did one, and I was like a green belt, and the person I fought was one belt lower than me, a yellow belt, and I basically lost. But
it can happen. Some people are natural fighters, and other people have to work at it.
Yeah, I kind of let the whole mental game get to me, because it's like there were people cheering that I could hear, but it sounded like the majority or the overwhelming majority of cheering was for my opponent. So I got a little discouraged, and I made some really rookie mistakes. Like charging
it happens.
and stuff.
Yeah, like running in. Yeah, don't do that.
but the funny thing was, I ended with the bronze medal anyway. I still got a bronze medal for losing.
Fair enough.
It was awesome. It had some weight to it.
Yeah, you got to be in it to win it. So
yeah, and it was my first match, and it was such a fun experience that I was having a blast with everyone I interacted with, and gave hugs to everyone, and smiles.
I got my daughter's a black belt as well.
And
she did a lot of tournament work, and she was exceptional. She really was. She had to stop. She went off and she's gone to university, and she's got a horse now, and that's her thing. But she was exceptional. But I did a lot of but all my tournament work was Wateroo before I went to the Korean karate. And I actually got to fight several times with the world champion.
Oh my gosh.
Because at the time he was in our organization. Wow. Obviously I didn't win. The guy's amazing. Super duper fast. But I managed to get a glove on him a couple of times, and he was very, very respectful. And that was a high. That was really good doing that kind of stuff.
Oh,
So
sure.
it
Absolutely.
was good fun. It was good fun. But I'm old now. So
but you're always young at heart, right?
yeah. The training's enough. I do enough press ups.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Out of curiosity, does your martial arts background have any influence in your creation of this book, Only Death Can Save Us?
He does a rather natty front kick in it, which I was quite pleased with. But other than that, no, not really. My YouTube channel, which I call myself Comic Book Black Belt, the towel to that is what I was explaining earlier about learning the basics, and then once you understand the basics, being able to control the art and make it work for you. And I feel it's the same for my martial art as it is for my visual arts. You know, you have to learn those basics. Like for instance, in the visual arts, you know, you have to learn anatomy and scene creation, and you know how to draw, all kinds of different things, and it's those basics that you have to put together. And then once you understand the basics, then you can start stretching and cheating and basically you know molding your style. In the case of comics, you create your own style, and style is not about getting everything right. Style is about making everything right underneath and cheating a little bit, stretching and giving your own twist on it. And it's like that in martial arts. You work your way up through the lower grades. You become a black belt. You go up into the higher dans, and you form the art around the way you want it to work for you. So yeah, there's a little bit of a synergy between that.
Oh man, absolutely. So, Only Death Can Save Us, Book One, Keystone, is by you, Russ Leach, and Tim Quinn. So, how are you divvying up the responsibilities?
Well, I wrote the story, and I'm doing all the art. I've also got a guy called Rick Hoskin, who is a writer of some note. He's done a lot of work with Dynamite and publishers like that, also with the big publishers as well, and with Disney. And he's doing all the dialogue for me. So I've written the script, and he's kind of polishing the dialogue to give it even more of that Bronze Age feel. And also he's added, every now and then he'll come up with an idea, and so he's going to help me on the script as I move forward into the next three books.
Oh,
And
wow.
Tim Quinn is the editor, so he just takes a look at the whole thing and tells me where it's wrong. And I listen to him, but other than that, it's all me. So
Wow. So you're literally doing all the pencils, the inks, the colors.
yeah.
And what is that term they use when you lay down the rough colors and then you come in later and do the
flats.
Flats.
So yeah. So I don't consider myself an accomplished colorist. I can color, but what I can do is what I'm doing here, and it's one up from flats because I wanted that retro feel. If I wanted a full on sort of graded, airbrushed look, I probably would have gone and sourced a colorist, but I didn't want that for the book anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt that I should do it myself, because I felt that was something I could do. If you actually have a look at the cover, that's done by Mike Summers, who I've worked with on multiple occasions, and he does lovely color work. And I wanted something just that little bit more punchy for the cover, something more graduated, more, a softer feel to the color, to help the cover pop. But the insides, I definitely wanted that retro, more flat feel, so that it gave that kind of look of the old comics.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you've got some impressive work here. How long have you been actually doing comics?
I started in the mid-90s. I submitted to Marvel, and the talent scout took me on and put me on the lists. But unfortunately, I never got any work from the editors. And at the time, you were on snail mail, so everything took several weeks to go backwards and forwards and what have you. And I had a career. I was a designer and art director in retail at the time. So I was doing brochures, catalogs, advertising, point of sale, all kinds of stuff for companies like Sony in the UK and Europe. And so I just got on with my career basically, and then I set up my own business in 2000 as an IT agency, and I was working in the leisure industry, providing. I did UI, so user interface design, yeah, and I also coded, and we did data supply and all kinds of stuff to the leisure industry, and that kind of stopped in 2009. I did another couple of bits and pieces, and then I decided it was either giving my soul over to more IT, which I was kind of. It's very hard to keep up with. I had to work very hard at keeping up with IT because it wasn't my natural environment.
So you changed daily too.
Yeah, and it was either that or I give my own illustration career another go. So that's what I did in 2010. I decided that was what I was going to do. And in 2012, I'd gotten far enough with enough confidence that my wife and I decided that we'd sell up. So we got rid of our old house and bought one half the size. It wasn't all to do with the career. It was about quality of living as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we decided to get rid of the mortgage, which is what we did.
Mm.
And I was fortunate enough to be able to do that because of the work that I'd done when I was younger. So we did that, and it meant that I could take more financial risks. I mean, I'm not like financially independent. Suddenly, I'm okay, and I've got £1 million in the bank. It's not like that. I have to work to live.
Right.
But it just meant that the bills weren't mounting up in the way they would have been, and I could take risks, and I could take lower paid gigs, and that's what I did. And eventually, I got a gig on Doctor Who in 2015. After working with the editor in a previous book early on, in about 2011, a guy called Jason Quinn, who happened to be Tim Quinn's brother. And I'd also done a couple of books for Mark Hosier. And so after that gig, I got another gig doing Ben 10. And during that whole period, I was working on the How to Draw the Marvel Way book for Marvel and Hachette. So I got to do a load of work on that, which was great fun. And then I was doing storyboarding as well. I'm still on a project for that, and another digital project for Charisma. That's kind of an AI-driven comic book system that is also used for things like. I think they were used in Black Mirror. You know that Black Mirror film where you had to decide the ending?
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, I think it was used in that. So the technology was used in that, and I was involved in a project where we were doing kind of graphic novels on tablets.
Wow.
But unfortunately, because of the coof, all that stopped because all the investment stopped, obviously.
Right.
And I'd already written this book, and I was already committed to doing like a day a week on it while I was working for my clients. And Bandersnatch, thank you. That's Eric. Yes, thank you, Eric. And I was already working on my book whilst working for my clients. But then, Coof turned up, and all that kind of went away because investment shrank back. So they said, we're going to have to hold back on the work, which left me at a cliff edge. I was kind of like, well, what am I going to do with my time? And my book was sitting there already done. I'd already done the 8-page preview in January. I posted that to the website. And fortunately, the government here, my government, was helping self-employed people to keep us afloat. So I used the time that they'd given me to get on and make this happen.
All right. And The entire book is already done?
I'm 75% the way through with inks. So it's the first 8 pages and the cover and everything. Also the posters and that kind of stuff are all coloured up. So I'm about 20% of the way through with the colours. The lettering is already done and is in a beta format to go off to the editor next week. So yeah, I'm full steam ahead and on track for the delivery in January.
Wow, fantastic. So it's 80 plus pages. We're looking at perfect bound already. Right out the gate is perfect. Oh, well, because you have so many pages, it warrants moving to perfect bound. I think the cap is like 45 for staples.
Yeah.
Full color, 60-page story, concept art, and character gallery. Oh, man, so many goodies. That's pretty sweet. And I think you touched on this. Let's see. It's a Bronze Age inspired cosmic fantasy romp, bringing together action and pathos as the ancient elemental known as Death leaps from his ethereal retirement to help a young soul protect her loved ones, her world, and even existence itself. Oh, you know what? Let's watch the
I put there's a brand new trailer up.
Is this the new one, or do I need it back out?
Don't know if that's the new one. It doesn't look like the new one.
Let's see that. Those are some of your
No. You want to refresh the page, or I can give you a YouTube address for the new. Yeah, look, that's it. There you go, brand new one. Yeah, and I think it's 3 minutes.
Looks like you got another backer. Sweet. It was at like 76.46, I think. Now you're at 76.
Yeah, I'm on 118%. Yeah, 142 backers, which I am absolutely stunned by. Thank you, everybody, so much. It's just wonderful to get that kind of support.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. And the fact that you had a 6506 fixed goal. Now, is it 6506? How did you come up with 6506?
It's in pounds.
Oh,
it's in pounds in the UK. So it's £5,000 in the UK.
Oh, all right.
I know that might be quite a high fixed goal for a first project, but I had to be realistic about how this worked and the amount of money it would take to print it and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
I had to be realistic about that. But people have responded, and I'm obviously doing something right. So that's great.
Yeah. For a first campaign on Indiegogo, it's doing pretty well. And the fact that you're fully funded, that's really good.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful. Yeah, I'd really like to get to the stretch goals. I mean, we can look at those in a while.
Yeah.
Because I really want to put those in the package and give them to everybody.
Absolutely. Are you in? How are you doing this? Are you doing one single 60 days of funding, or did you break it into 230?
I broke it into two. Broke it into two. The first 30 days I got funded, so I was really pleased with that. And I thought, no, I want to hit the stretch goals. I want to send this stuff out. And like I say, we can have a look at those in a minute, and I think they're pretty cool. So
all right. So you're in the second 30 days of funding.
Yeah. Right. 17 days left.
And after 17 days, do you plan on going in demand?
Yeah. What I'll do is I'll leave just a book up for people to buy that if they want to, and I will overprint because I'm committed. I really want to do a second book and a third and a fourth, and I want to be able to give people who are jumping on the second book to be able to have the first book as well.
Yeah.
But obviously, they won't be getting the same package that you get in the first campaign, because you won't be getting any of the stretch goals or the bits and pieces that I'll be chucking in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I like campaigns that give you a chance to catch up on the story and to more or less catch up on what you missed.
Yeah.
Let's see here. All right, cool.
So the first trailer I did quite a short one, And I actually did that on the advice of Michael Bancroft, who helped me out. Thank you, Michael. He helped me out a lot, gave me a lot of good advice. A lot of other people helped as well, including Rob in the chat. And I took that advice. But I'm moving on into the second month. I wanted to do something different, and I got some more advice again on various channels. And I went and got some voice actors from Fiverr. But took the first 3 pages of the preview and put them into this trailer. So that's why there's a new trailer up.
Huh. All right, let's check it out.
$20 billion years ago, as the second age gave way to the third, one last great war raged between Satana's forces of cruel chaos, who had ruled for a sliver of eternity, and the forces of order, who sought to remake things anew. The Supreme called her warlords the Pillars of Creation. Their purpose was not to bring apocalypse, but to welcome forth the new age. Over time, their true purpose would be forgotten, for such is the fate of legends, and only their names would be remembered. War, famine, pestilence, and death.
Damn, I love things. Wretched things. You preach to the converted, brother. Their vile number seems limitless. 6,666 by my count.
They have numbers, aye, but their arrogance will yet be their undoing. Mark my words, brothers.
You speak true, Sister Pestilence. Even now, my mistress builds a prison to house me. A prison of love. She also need that we lead them there. This is the word.
Then let us draw succor from it.
And thus it came to pass that the third age began with the vanquishing of evil and the renewal of life. But evil is patient. It clings to the dark places and waits for its moment to strike.
We shall know glory this day, my brothers.
What was won that day was a battle, not the war. That would come later.
Oh my gosh.
Wait for it. Wait.
We shall know glory this day, my brothers.
There you go.
I was waiting for Thanos end screen.
Yeah.
Man,
yeah.
That's a trip. Oh wow, that's cool. I like that. That was a lot of fun.
I was really pleased the way that came out. The voice actors are just superb, and the fact that you can get them for just a few dollars, really. I mean, like $20 each, kind of thing. It was
really.
It was so worth. Yeah, it was so worth doing, and they were so quick as well. They just knocked it out the park. Gave me 3 options. So the main narrator gave me 3 options for everything he'd done, and one was kind of like very fast, and the other one was totally over the top. Like film this year. if you see only one film, it's like that. But the middle one was just like, it was narrated it beautifully, really, really did it. And he's actually from Denmark. He's not American.
Oh.
So he's a great voice actor.
Wow, what a trip! It now it makes me wonder: are you doing an audiobook of this?
Oh, that would cost me a lot of money.
Man, that's a trip.
It would. I'd love to actually, but it's too far out there. It's too much money.
Did you put this trailer together as well?
Yeah, I did the video on it. Yeah.
I don't know if there's a way to do it, or if you even think it necessary, but I kind of thought the female character's voice was a little on the light side, a little hard to hear.
She's not. She wasn't as. Sorry, she wasn't as powerful as the others. So I might need to beef that up.
And I really enjoyed the voice modulation you did on D. That was pretty cool. Yeah, the voices as a whole are cool, and the narrator. Yeah, that was pretty sweet. I enjoyed it.
Thanks.
I like it a lot. My
it's
goodness.
There to entertain. That's what I want from this book. I know that sounds silly because everybody's here to entertain, but I just want it to be a joyous thing. I want you to be able to pick it up and flick through it and enjoy the art, hopefully. But also, if you want to read the story, you can enjoy it for being just fun and action and a cheesy tale, or you can look further into it and see some of the deeper stuff that's lurking within the world that I've created. So just entertainment. Just entertainment.
Yeah, with a lot of thought put into the universe you're building, which is nice. The attention to detail is also always cool. Eric, I think we covered this earlier. If you're going in demand after 60 days, and you said
I will. Yeah, I will.
Awesome. Go ahead.
I just want to. I just love it to be in as many people's hands as possible. That's it, really.
Absolutely. Rotten Glory says, "This is great, Russ. Well done following through on this trailer."
Cheers, Rob.
Eric says that voice actor is legit.
He is. Yes, he's great.
Hi,
Christine.
Hello. No, cool avatar. That's an adorable dog.
Orc.
Man, so we got this cover. Oh, there's Rick Hoskin. Again, good here. And awesome. Some interiors.
Yeah, you got the 8-page preview there. I felt I could do that because it's 60 pages of story and because of the extra content. But I wanted to pull people in. I wanted them to see what they were going to be getting. I don't think I'll be putting out an 8-page preview for the next book. I'll let people, I'll keep it back a bit. But I will be showing interior art next campaign I do.
Let's see. Oops, didn't mean to be redundant. No, but yes, I am saving up to get the art tier.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you.
Fantastic. Yeah, no, it's no problem at all, Eric. It helps everyone to make sure everyone's questions get answered. Sometimes you can look at a campaign and you might still be, some are composed better than others, and there are times where you just can't seem to get your questions answered, which is why it's good to delve into them in more detail.
Yeah.
Welcome, Wooly.
Wooly.
WyzGyz. Hail the chat. Fantastic. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I'm pretty. You know what? Hold on. Let me confirm something. Deep. Somewhere in here. Oh, great. Either I misplaced it or I screwed up, because I'm pretty sure I backed this campaign. All right, I'm gonna have to look at it. I have to make sure I back this, because this I can't miss out on this. Let's see here. Yeah, so as you said, you are making available here the interiors, which is nice.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Oh, welcome, Excel and Comics. Hey,
Oh, Hex.
Christine Venner asks, so this is going to be the first of many books?
Yeah. The first set is an arc of 4, but I'm making it episodic and encapsulated. So the way that it's written is that if you just wanted to pick the one book up, you could and have fun with it, and you could it's a kind of an open-ended ending, but not something that kind of cuts a story halfway through. So you would feel, you'd got something out of the book. You wouldn't just feel like, oh, now I've got to get the next one. But at the same time, I want to encourage people along for the rest of the arc. But hopefully that will be in the quality of the story and the whole production, and people will want to move on and see what happens next. So yeah, there's that one arc, but I also made the characters so that they could be completely expanded upon. One of my initial concepts for Chrissy, who is Dee's companion, and you will find out what happens to her. She becomes pivotal. Dee and Chrissy was effectively, they could turn up anywhere in anybody's comic book universe. They could go anywhere.
Wow.
Literally anywhere. So that was kind of an option for them to move on after the first 4 books, that they could go into kind of lots of different adventures if I wanted them to. But there's also a whole universe to explore with the previous to what happens here. So you could take it back in time and look at the previous incarnations of the universe and what part these characters played in it.
So we got some more world building. Just checking out the artwork, and excuse me. When it comes to art, who are your influences? Who did you really admire? And
John Buscema is probably my favorite artist. I would say definitely my favorite artist. When I was growing up in the UK, you had something called Marvel UK, and they did their own independent books outside of the US books. And one of the first books that I got hold of was Captain Britain. And so you had the original story of Captain Britain, but they had reprints of Fantastic Four, Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., old 60s and 70s Avengers, Doctor Strange, all kinds of stuff. It had reprinted. But it was that run on the Fantastic Four by John Buscema and Joe Sinnott. Joe Sinnott's inks are just spectacular. I love Tom Palmer, but Joe Sinnott for me kind of had this. Sinnott and Buscema had this kind of magic that kind of makes me feel like they're this perfect bubble of comic book, and that's really where so much of my influence comes from. But there's so many other people as well. I mean, Starlin, all the cosmic stuff from Starlin was big for me. Remitter, there were Kirby, obviously. I didn't appreciate him when I was younger, but certainly as I got older and started looking at more art, Kirby, I had a Kirby moment. Pretty much most artists have a Kirby moment where you stop looking at the thick knees and start looking at the dynamics of the work and realize just what a damn genius the man was. And then after that, having that Kirby moment meant that I could look at so many other artists and go, oh, right, okay, I kind of get it now. My problem probably was that John Buscema spoilt me as a child. That his art was just so solid and so so energetic and dramatic that I kind of thought, well, all comics should look like this. And of course, that's not the way at all. That's not the way at all. All comics should look like all kinds of different things. And so after I had my Kirby moment, and suddenly I started to look around and realize just how much great artwork there was out there, and that it didn't have to look like the things that I loved in order for me to appreciate it. And it didn't have to look like something that I would want to recreate myself in order for me to appreciate it either. So I love Mike Mignola, but conversely, I also love Kevin O'Neill from 2000 AD. Obviously, Brian Bolland. My work is nothing like that man's. I don't really see anything of him in my work, and yet he was a big effect on me. He's a great professional, and his line work is just superb. So it's about the energy that these artists get down onto the page that I think that really affects me in the storytelling. So camera angles and just weight in anatomy, that kind of thing. That's the most important thing. So yeah, those things all come through hopefully from the Bronze Age, sort of 70s, 80s, and a little bit of the 90s as well. When I got my when I spoke to Marvel in the 90s, I was effectively desperate to be Jim Lee, as most artists were at the time, and of course only Jim Lee could be Jim Lee.
Yeah.
And in fact, Jim Lee has become so Jim Lee that he's an ultra Jim Lee now. And I have a deep respect for his work, but something that again took me a long time to realize was that Jim Lee's work is not overly detailed. It's just really cleverly done, and that's something that the artists from the Bronze Age did as well, especially people like Buscema. It's an economy of line that you don't realize until you start doing it yourself over a period of time. And it's something may look extraordinarily detailed, but it's just clever placement. So yeah, I was desperate to do that, but found really that my path was somewhere away from the Jim Lee clonage. I wanted to be my own person. I wanted to be my own style, and although obviously it's heavily influenced, I like to think that there's me in there. You can pick me out of it.
Yeah, I think every up and coming artist has that thing where they're so influenced by other artists that they kind of lose their own voice until they really get into it and put in a lot of practice and stuff.
Yeah.
Before their own vision comes through. The
practice, like the 10,000 hours, putting in the time means that you can become confident in yourself, so that when you see the bright penny, you don't go, oh look at that. That's fantastic. I must put that in my style. You can appreciate what you see and go, yeah, that's great, but that doesn't suit me.
Right.
I don't have to put everything I love in. I can just do what's right for me. But of course, growth is important. So as much as I consider this to be a zenith at the moment as being my best piece of work, I've put everything into this. I fully expect it not to be my best piece of work in the future. So that's how you grow and move on.
Indeed. Eric says, I love the art style of this book. It has that Infinity Gauntlet style too. It is gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, I mean, Infinity Gauntlet. Wow. Yeah. I have them all up there on my bookshelf. They feed into this without a doubt.
Christine says, oh, sweet. Sounds really good. And I love the art.
Thank you.
Hex Allen says, I started reading comics during the Buscema run on Avengers.
Yeah. Hey, I've got some of those reprints up there. They're fantastic stuff.
Statistical Zero, welcome. Can't stay dinner soon. Just wanted to pop in and say hi to all you great people. Love WyzGyz, Russ, and chat.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Hex Allen says, I always see a Dave Gibbons influence in Russ's work.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that. I don't always see it myself, although I'm obviously very flattered by it because Dave Gibbons is fantastic. So yeah, I mean, maybe there is something in there. I don't know. We're all standing on the shoulders of giants, aren't we?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Absolutely.
And so many fantastic creators have come before us that you can't possibly not be affected by some of them. So yeah, if that lineage is coming through, then fantastic. So I have. So I think the term is you have like art fathers, art parents, art grandparents. Much like in martial arts, we were talking earlier, I have martial arts grandparents. So I was taught by a sixth dan, and above him is a guy called Peter Spanton, who is a ninth dan, and he was taught by Suzuki. So Suzuki is my grandparent in martial arts, in karate. Suzuki is my grandfather. So in art, then surely my grandfather has got to be someone like Buscema or Kirby. Yeah, and the thing is Kirby, Buscema, Ditko, Romita, they are all grandparents to so many artists.
Yeah, all these illegitimate children. Just kidding. Welcome, Faith.
About, yeah.
Welcome, Faith Salvation. Hey, everyone.
Hey,
Good to have you. Let's see here. A lot of hellos. Hey, welcome, Timber Vlogs. Good to have you. Lee has that crosshatch game going. Statistical Zero says, I think the artist influence thing is the starting point. Once most people learn the rules of art, they can bend, they deviate.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But it's having that, getting the practice in and having the confidence to do it. That's the trick. That's the trick. As an artist, you're always your own worst critic, and confidence is always a problem. But it's finding enough confidence to say, no, I'm going that way, and sticking to it. that's tricky.
Yeah, one of the things that really like kind of freaked me out when I saw it was when I recently saw people like Anna, that Star Wars girl, and Jim Lee. They were using like whiteout pens.
Mm-hmm.
And the very use of those kind of threw me for a loop. I was like, I never imagined making use of something like that to, clean up your lines and stuff.
Yeah,
it is really trippy and impressive. And if I'm not mistaken, McFarlane might also do that.
Yeah, I used to use white gouache with a brush. But yeah, some of those I've got some whiteout pens to do some commissions, and they didn't work all that great actually, so I've got to get some more. But it's finding the right pen. If you can find the right whiteout pen, they're gold dust.
Yeah, absolutely. Excuse me. Speaking about mediums, is your work traditional or digital or some of each?
It's a bit of each. So a lot of, for instance, you see the framework here. I'll be doing this digitally, but the splash, I've got some. I've got a set of splash pages. So I had 11 scattered throughout the book that I would, because I pencil up on screen because it's just easier. So I'd print out the pencils and ink over the top, so it'd be like mixed media. So that people could actually get a piece of artwork from the book. It's unique. It is from the book. It is the piece of artwork that is used in the book. It's just a mixed media on the out, but it will be on Bristol paper, so it'll be a proper piece of artwork, and you'll see the pencils underneath the inks, all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
But I really see the digital process, and I try to do this all the time. It's just another way of drawing. I really, and I try not to. So, for instance, again, I've said this before, there's nothing wrong with using 3D models. If you want to use them, great. That's your thing. That's your bag. You make comics whatever way you want to make them. But for me personally, I won't use them. So I don't think there's a problem with occasionally picking up a 3D model of a car or a bus or something like that. You know, because they're tricky things to get the details on. But people and not anatomy, I won't do it. Because my personal view is like the guys from the guys from the Bronze Age and the way that they drew, in order to get that energy and that flow through your work, if you use 3D models, I feel that they're a bit stilted. And also, if you trace too much photography, you're not going to get the story flow. You need to be able to see in your mind's eye a situation or a scene from any angle and zoom into that position, that point you need in order to tell the story in the best way visually. So it's just something I choose not to do. But also with I use Clip Studio now. I've been using Photoshop since 1990. So I've used Photoshop a long time, but I'm now completely converted to Clip Studio. It's a fantastic program, but I just use the basic pencils and pens in it, and I just get on and use them. I had custom brushes in Photoshop, but I don't feel I need them in Clip Studio. And the way that I draw, I bring it up to a size that's exactly the same as I draw on for A3, and apart from a few close-in bits, just normally on faces, because when you're drawing in real life, you get really in close, and you just like zoom in with a pencil or a pen, whatever, and you can't really do the same thing on screen. So there's a few places like that, but other than that, I discipline myself not to get too close in and not to get too digital, if you like.
Right.
So that it feels more like a traditional page. And of course, the things that I do, so you use layers and what have you to help you work. In the real world, I'd just be using a light box and photocopies. So I might sketch something out and it's the perfect sketch, but it's too big. So I'll photocopy it down and I'll stick it back on my sketch and I'll lay it down on a light box and then place my paper over the top of it. But so it's just a different tool. That's the way I see it.
Right, exactly. I had a question, then I blanked out on it. Christine is asking, how old were you when you realized you wanted to be an artist or make a comic?
That was a long time ago. I think I remember my mother had a picture that I'd drawn probably when I was about 5, and it was from a Stalker comic by DC. I just drew the cover several times, and I think at that moment in time I fell in love with comics when I was very, very young, and I drew all the time, so I knew I wanted to draw. And I think when I found Captain Britain and those reprints of Sinnott and Buscema, that was when I knew I wanted to draw comics. That moment when opening up that, and then after that it was all 2000 AD and Spider-Man, and just my whole world exploded. So I would say about 10, 10 or 11, something like that. 10.
Nice.
Maybe a little bit young, maybe 9, but that sort of time, that sort of space. But I went to college. I went to art school, and it was focused mostly on design. But I did do some illustration. But there was an illustration tutor that looked at my work and said, "Don't bother. You're better off as a designer." So I kind of focused on that. But I couldn't get the comics out of my system.
Oh, sure.
Ergo, when I was working as a designer in sort of the mid-90s, I started getting involved with underground comics, the indie scene at the time in the UK.
All right.
And that's when I submitted to Marvel after that. But when it all kind of didn't go anywhere, I kind of just got myself busy paying the mortgage.
Oh, okay.
And that's when I came back into the 2010.
Welcome, Tatsunami. Hello, hello.
Tatsunami.
Good to have you. Christine says, "Oh wow, so pretty much your whole life then."
Yeah. I've loved comics my whole life. Yeah, there's I don't know how much you can see up here. Sorry, I'll just move a camera, see if you can see it. This is there's all my books.
Whoa.
So there's all my books, and there we go.
Well, is it nighttime over there now?
Yeah, it's 12 o'clock.
Oh wow! What, midnight or
midnight? Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah. So that I've got those books there, but I've also got another bookcase, almost the same size, with all the other books in them. And I'm still buying books. Last one I bought was this one by Vinny.
Oh, Vinny Turnamella?
Yeah, I got the hardback.
Through the Woods, yeah.
That is,
isn't that cool?
It's beautiful. It's such a lovely, lovely book. It's so well done.
Every time you display it, you're supposed to knock on the cover to emphasize it's a hardcover.
But that's gorgeous, and I've bought a lot of books. I've stopped buying mainstream books. I still buy reprints, and the last I have to excuse my glasses. I think the last mainstream book I bought a trade paperback of Hulk, the last Hulk set, and I think it was the first 10 books or something, 10 comics, and also I got Venom as well because I kind of like the look of that. But other than that, it's mostly old reprints. So.
Wow, how cool is that? Christine says, "Lol, that was nice of them," quote unquote, about the comment about them telling you should go into, I think it was design, or was it illustration?
Sorry?
You were telling one of your stories about your early art, and I think one of your art teachers said,
he said don't bother. So I just went off into design. The first, I had a job for a printer where this was before Macintosh, and I used to have to typeset letterheads and brochures and that kind of stuff, and you'd type it up and it was like a green screen, and you'd have to format it with leading and kerning and line weights and all that kind of stuff, and then you hit the button and it spat it out, and then you had to put it through this massive machine which was effectively a photographic developer, and it would come out on a sheet of paper, and then you'd run it through. Young people don't know how good they've got it. and then you'd, in order for you to put it on a piece of artboard, you'd have to run it through a waxer, which is basically hot wax with silver pin rollers, and you'd run it through, and it would put wax on the back of your galley of a strip of text, and then you'd put the text in place on the artboard along with anything else, and then you'd mark it up. So you'd put a sheet over the top of it, and you'd mark it up for color for repro press. So you'd have to put the percentages of CMYK on there and have it printed up like that. And I carried on doing that into brochure design and magazine design. So I was doing magazines for the leisure industry as well. And then after that, I ended up in retail. So I did a lot of work for people like Harrods, and my main gig was Argos, which is, you don't know what that is, but in the UK it's a big retail outlet, and people like Sony, and also toy stores as well, which you wouldn't know who they are if I gave them your name. but they were prominent in the UK retail market.
Okay. Christine says, "Damn, oh, that's beautiful." That I'm pretty sure was a comment on Vinnie Tartamella's.
Yeah, it is beautiful. Book. Yeah.
Statistical zero. Oh, come on now. Disregard that. That seems to happen quite often, surprisingly enough. Statistical has a question for both of us. You can go first. Do you remember the first comic you ever saw? I can tell you mine was Marvel Blitha, #2 from 1988. John Byrne.
Blimey, God. There's so many comics that I remember. First one I ever saw. I think probably the first one. The first one I ever saw was probably that Stalker comic, because I was drawing it when I was 5. So it must have been the first comic I ever saw. The first comic I ever properly had in my hands. And I remember flicking through it so often. And it wasn't really appropriate for a child of 5. I don't know how I managed to get in the comic. But I suppose back then comics are for kids, so they just gave you comics. But straight away after that, I would have been given things like Beano. Do you know the Beano?
Beano?
Yeah, it's like it's kids. That is kids stuff. It's it's definitely very British. Beano and Dandy and that kind of stuff. Whizzer and Chips. There you go. That was a comic back in the day. And then basically when I got involved in Captain Britain, that's where my life was changed forever, I think.
Gotcha. Yeah. Earliest I can remember, I think it was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1.
Wow.
TMNT. When they were like big format magazine comic book things.
Yeah.
And they were black and white, and the covers, I think the original covers were all black and white, and then they did a re-release where they did like, is it dual tone, where it was like all red with black shadows.
Yeah.
After that, I guess I got into things like G.I. Joe, Transformers, Silver Surfer, Blue Beetle. I seem to remember, I think it was I can't remember if it was the cover of Wolverine or if it was the cover of the Incredible Hulk, but it was a close-up shot of Wolverine's face and him with his
claws up.
His claws.
And the Hulk was reflected in it. Yeah.
In the blades. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was John Byrne, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It might have been.
It's pretty sweet. Christine says, "Yeah, same here. I only buy back issues other than independent books." Yep. Statistical zero. I get the reprints too. Just ordered Darwin Cook's entire hardcover, The Spirit run.
Ooh.
Dang.
Ooh.
I wonder how pricey that was.
Yeah.
the entire run. Welcome, Froggo Funding. Great to have you.
Hello, Froggo.
By the way, Froggo and Fade Salvation. I'm going to try and get something out to you guys in the mail within the week. Christine Venner says, "My first comic was bought for me by my dad. He knew nothing about comics, but knew I liked the reruns of original Star Trek, OGST.
On the telly, yeah.
Probably. Oh, okay. So he bought me 2000 AD because he thought that was similar. I was 8.
Ooh. I must say I was only sort of 9, 10, 11, maybe even younger, maybe 8, reading very early 2000 AD, and it was what's the word for it? It's very counterculture. I mean, when you think about something like Judge Dredd, okay, like the guy's a Nazi, yeah, but he's the good guy. and he puts all the bad guys in prison. And sometimes he just shoots them because he's judge, jury, and executioner.
Yeah.
And you've got a 9-year-old boy or a 9-year-old girl, whatever, all of us reading this stuff, going, "Yeah, this is great. Go get them, judge." You know, it's it's very counterculture. But 2000 AD was great like that because unlike now, the kids we weren't protected from that. We were able to investigate for ourselves. We were able to make our own minds up. We were able to look through it and judge for ourselves and come up with our own opinions. And 2000 AD was fabulous for that. It really kind of, poked it got the noggin jogging.
Yeah. Christine says, but loved comics since that day.
Yeah, not a surprise, yeah.
Statistical Zero says, ooh, ha. 2000 AD for an 8-year-old, man. Froggo Planning says, you are all beautiful.
Oh, bless.
Christine says, lol, I was transfixed, but I read it till it fell apart.
Yeah.
Tears of joy emoji. I remember those. Beano here is medicine that helps you fart less. Oh, that's true. I forgot about that. Statistical Zero says 2000 AD had some great art in it. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Speaking of great art,
had the best art in it. It was just it was people like Kevin O'Neill who draws very strangely, but still incredibly compelling. Mike Mahone, obviously Brian Bolland, but you had Dave Gibbons in there as well. You had like this full breadth and depth of art and creators in 2000 AD that were just so fantastic.
Yeah. Statistical Zero says, man, you're like an encyclopedia knowledge.
Yep, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. Jeez.
Stat knows his stuff.
I know. Seriously. Speaking of cool artwork, I also was into heavy metal.
Oh, yeah.
That stuff was awesome. Statistical Zero says, haha, it was 2 trades. Cook only did 10 issues of The Spirit to keep it away from Frank Miller. Well, yeah, apocalyptic. Fantastic. And let's see here. Oh my gosh. Excuse me.
It's all right.
Yeah, so I like the different angles and stuff. So I take it, are also doing all the lettering yourself?
Yep. Yeah, I do understand that lettering is a particular skill and books are let down via lettering. However, I would submit to the jury that I've had a career in design and production, so feel like I've got the cojones to make the text work. So
yeah, I mean, based on this these interiors, I think the lettering looks really good. I don't know if this is going to be 1-to-1 scale from what I see on screen versus what I'll see on the page, but it's nice and clean. Did you do all of the lettering digitally using software, or did you?
Yeah, I use Photoshop for it. So.
Oh, gotcha. Awesome action scenes. The portal with all these creatures coming through.
I have some art if you want to look at it.
Oh, hold on. Oh, nice.
So that's one of the pages where he's getting it on, and I had to put some foam in there. It just had to be done.
Oh, for sure.
So you can see, what's going on, how the artwork's progressing. I would at some point love to do a black and white of the whole thing. So, the plan would be, the dream would be to be able to get all 4 books out for people to enjoy them and to love them, and then be able to put them all together into a hardback black and white art version.
Wow.
So that's what I'd really like to do.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I don't want to be sort of putting out ash cans and that kind of stuff. I want to keep it focused onto the books.
Nice. Christine says, yeah, it's not taking over the art. That's a beautiful panel.
Thank you.
Tatsunami says, "Boom, baby,
Boom, baby."
Statistical Zero says, I have to pop out now. I'll catch the rest later. Russ, you're an awesome artist. WyzGyz, you're a great host. Thank you so much, Stato. Chat, you are all awesome too. Good night. You take it easy, Stato. Good to have you all, as always. Yeah, what a trip. Great stuff. Real excited about this. And I love this. This is so cool.
That's going to be a poster. That's actually going to be one of the stretch goals, but also it will be inside the book as well.
Oh, wow.
So all the black and white prints that I've got are going to be inside the book, coloured. But I've made them available as black and white A4 prints, so you can get those. So, for instance, the print from Rob Willis, which is on its way, but we all know Rob Willis will turn in something fabulous. So I'm confident that's not a problem. But yeah,
very cool, very cool. So we got some perks. The Rob Willis one, which is in production. Preview available. Well, now it's October, so it's going to be a little later, it looks like. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see here. Awesome characters. I think I can do a bang-up job on this one. Renzo Rodriguez.
Yeah, he's a fabulous artist. I've worked with Renzo in the past and known him for quite some time. Fabulous artist. Lovely man.
Yeah, look at this piece. And it's like the universe in the background.
Oh yeah, he's done a top job on that. Really nice.
That's cool, and I like her pose and everything. And this is badass on the heap of soldiers.
Yeah. Mike Emmeritt's did a really actually that's got a real 2000 AD vibe to it. That Mike Emmeritt's one, really nice. And Emmerich Birdies has got kind of like a manga kind of feel to it. He does lovely work like that. Yeah. So you've got all these different representations of them, which I think is wonderful.
Oh, that is nice, isn't it? Sweet. Let's see here. Christine says, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Timber Vlog says, wow. Christine says, she's drawn so well. Beautiful. I agree. 9 tiers to choose from with a mix of original art and prints from some truly awesome guest artists. Yeah. Canvas print, 50 by 50 centimeter canvas.
Yeah, that's for any millionaires out there if they want the collector's bundle.
Wow, jeez. Holy cow.
I might, if nobody else wants it, I might get it and do it for myself. So.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, I mean, how could you pass up on that? 50. I'm just looking at one of my rulers, and it's
a fair size. Yeah.
Oh, this is centimeters. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of that big.
Wait, hold on. Say again. Oh, kind of that big.
Kind of that big.
So it's a perfect square.
Yeah, it'll fit on your wall nice.
Wow. Huh. Sweet.
But it's the stretch goals that I'm really really keen on. That's the poster you can set. Yeah, that's my poster. You can get in the poster set, so that'll be coloured.
The front poster.
Yeah.
And original page art, 10 available.
Yeah.
Then we've got stretch goals.
Yeah. So the first
5,000.
First 4 I've got here. I've actually got these up. If you want to look at,
Heck yeah.
I'll share the screen. Mm-hmm. Right.
Oh, thank you, Christine. That's about 18 by 18 inches.
Yeah, I'll have to remember to.
So like a foot and a half.
Yeah.
Like a foot and a half.
Remember to.
Actually
put things in for my
20 by 20 more like.
Inches, yeah. So these are the post. This is the postcard art.
Oh,
so the first 4 stretch goals. What I did was, the first stretch goal isn't really a stretch goal. It's basically, as soon as I hit the target, I wanted to give something away. So this is the first postcard, which is Pestilence. And then stretch goal 2, which we've already got to, fantastic, is War. And then we're moving on to stretch goal 3 is Famine. And then stretch goal 4 is Death himself. So it's effectively a 4 postcard set. So they're like A5 postcards. They're about this big.
Okay, all right.
And that, I think they'd look really nice in just in a frame on their own, actually.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then after that,
now, do these A4 postcards have anything on the back? Any writing or any?
I think that they may end up having, like, like their postcards. So they'll have like a line down and a place for a stamp, that kind of thing.
Right on. Right
it depends what stock they put it on, I suppose.
Nice.
And after that, I've got the poster, the woman that you saw, where you saw my hand on the board. That's going to be inked up. That's the next one above this. And then after that,
sweet.
I've got 6 a.m. comics.
All right.
He did that for me, which I think is wonderful. So I commissioned him to do that, and it will be a patch that you can put onto a coat or a jacket or something like that, or your jeans, whatever you want to. But that's the top end. After that, wow, if I was to get support after that, then we'd be looking at maybe a UV spot color on the cover. And if it went far enough, I've even got a 5-page backup story by Rick Hoskin that I'm ready to put in. So,
excuse me. I forgot to check. Have you had a chance to be on Red Valkyrie's channel?
Yes, yeah, been on there. I'm gonna check to see if I could maybe go on and see her again. Actually, I had great fun on that. In fact, on my on the website for Only Death Can Save Us, I've got a fan art page.
Oh,
I got fan art. I mean, there was a tear in my eye when I got fan art. It was like, wow.
That's got to be the greatest feeling.
Oh, it is. It absolutely is. And on there, I've got Shay.
Did she do a hand turkey for you?
A what?
A hand turkey.
What's that?
Oh, there was this thing. I guess it's kind of a running joke on her channel where she once commented that all she can draw is hand turkeys. So someone, I forgot who it was, whether it was Sam Poitier or someone else, got kind of a rumor started saying, if you back this book, she's going to draw you a hand turkey for all those who backed during the stream, and that became like a thing. So she occasionally draws hand turkeys based on different CG characters.
Right.
Excuse me. Now, while you're pulling that up, Tatsunami says, this book needs more eyes on it. I totally agree. That's why I want to push it. Christine says, that's cool. Tatsu says, she looks cool.
Okay.
Christine says, I love that. 4 Horsemen. Fraga says, I tried backing and my bank is being jerks again. I've had a lot of trouble backing projects outside the U.S. My bank sucks.
Yeah, I've heard that. Some people have trouble with it. I am funded. If it goes to a point where you can't get what you want, then just get in touch with me and we'll see if we can do something via PayPal.
Yeah. Additionally, to add to it, when I have problems backing it, sometimes to Australian books and occasionally to UK books, and it'll tell me, well, it won't tell me immediately in most cases, but if after every time I back a campaign, I'm making it a habit now to double check myself and click on campaign details or backer details or whatever, contribution details. You click on that link to confirm that it did, successfully back. Otherwise, it'll say something to the effect, payment failed.
Yeah.
And then sometime later afterwards, you'll get an email notification saying, oops, it didn't work. If you still are interested in backing this campaign, back it again. So if you check out contribution details and it tells you it failed, give it another shot. And in my experience, at least, it usually successfully goes through the second attempt. Tatsu says, I like the Spawn colors. Christine says, 6 a.m. has been busy. Yep.
Yes, yeah. He's fantastic.
Fraga says, Shay is one of the best people ever. Yeah, she's pretty awesome. I love her to death. Tatsu says, hey, Fraga.
Can't hear you. Is your mic on?
Christine says,
Or is that me?
Oh, sorry? Say again?
That's me.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I think I knocked my mic. I knocked my headphones, and it turned the sound off.
Oh, all right.
Just a boom. It's a boomer moment.
I can still hear you just fine. Didn't even notice any issues. Let's see here. Let's see. I like the Spawn color. 6 a.m. has been busy. Christine says it sometimes flags as fraud for banks if it's out of the country. Yeah.
Yeah, but a friend in Portugal, he had to try 4 times, which is ridiculous. We're effectively on the same continent.
Yeah, that's
so. This is the fan art page. You've got something from Sim there.
Oh, cool.
It's from Coparticus, who is Captain Buckethead.
Well, yeah.
He did a great video. This video is superb. You've got to go sign up for, subscribe to his channel. Fantastic presentation.
Was that like a review of the book?
No, he just did a drawing. He did some fan art on there. He did this fan art here of Chrissy, awesome. And it showed the whole process. It's fantastic. Sweet. This is Jaw Smashers. This is lovely. Come with me if you want to live. I like that. That's good. Marshall Lee he's great. Marshall Lee, he did some rubber hosing stuff, and then there's Red Valkyrie dressed up with a great backdrop. I just love that. That's fantastic.
Oh my gosh, that worked out really well.
Yeah, Lucifer Bell art on Instagram. Another one from Marsh. Some pencils from E.T. Madness, and Stat did this, which is so cool. So cool.
Oh my gosh.
And I've got some more trading cards from Coparticus that he's gonna send to me, and I'm gonna drop in randomly into some of the packages.
Oh my gosh.
So
that's gonna be so cool. Wow. Oh my gosh, how cool is that? Let's see here. Frago says it took me months till it let me back Death Sworn by Carl Oro. Christine says, "Wow, some lovely fan art."
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, thumbs up from Tatsunami. Yeah, good stuff. That's got to be a trip. Seeing other interpretations from other artists about
it was great enough, actually. Like, obviously commissioning those other guys, Rob Willis and Renzo and Amrit and Mike to do it, but to have people want to do it on their own time, it's just it's humbling. So it was really cool. Really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So we just covered the stretch goals. Man, I really love this piece though. The one that at the 11,000 pound stretch goal. Man, definitely want to hit that. That came out weird. Okay. Oh my gosh. So let's see. Some of the sample art from Russ is licensed. Oh, okay. You got the X-Men with Professor X.
I was very fortunate to draw so many characters from the universe for the art tutorials, and in the comics extras, where I did some editorial as well and wrote some tips. Most of the time, the editorial team said, "What do you want to do next?" And I got to draw the things I wanted to draw. So,
oh my gosh, wow!
it was really good fun. I haven't, I didn't hit Marvel editorial. I didn't get to draw a monthly book for Marvel, which, from the comic book perspective, which I would have loved to have done. But the next best thing was being able to draw all these licensed characters under the editorial eye of Marvel editors. So yeah, I was that really scratched an itch.
Oh, I'm sure. Quite an opportunity.
Some of those you can also see on my channel. You can see the screen cap of the inks on a lot of those. So
is that right? Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent. Let me see here. The world, our approach.
Yeah. Yes, the way I see people. It's like I say, there's no toxic fans. When you're making a book like this, when you're making a world, when you're creating stories, you're giving a little bit of yourself, and you're giving it over to those people that want to back you, and time is money. So every time you spend some money that you've spent time, your personal life to make, you're giving a little bit of yourself. So there's this contract between me and them. I'm giving of myself, and they're giving of themselves, and it's a two-way street. So they deserve respect because these people are buying into your stories. And even if they've got something horrible to say, that the least you can do is respect the fact that they've taken the time to take your story in. So yeah. It's important. Fans are hugely important. I don't like the word fans because it kind of puts you on a pedestal. They're readers. They're fellow travelers on the journey.
Right. Yeah. True. Christine says X-Men was my favorite book in the 80s.
Yeah, I didn't really find it until Jim Lee. Really, I didn't really find it until the 90s. And then obviously I bought them all. But, like the big gatefold cover and everything. I was obsessed with Jim Lee for a while. But I'm sure there's loads of artists that were, and not so much now. But I do very much appreciate his artwork. He's got a real look. And so much of the art at that time had an amazing feel, which is why I love Rob Willis's art, because it's got that. There's something of that in his art. I think it's gorgeous, absolutely stunning to look at. And again, you look at it, it's easy to look at his art and think, oh wow, look at that cross hatching and everything. It's so great, but no, his lines are just so well put together, and there's so much economy. He knows exactly what he's doing with them, and it shows through the beautiful art that he produces.
Pretty sweet. Let's check out the perks. So the first one is the complete print set. Includes A3. Is that A3 and A4?
No, so what you've got is
Four Horsemen poster. Oh, right.
So you've got the Four Horsemen poster, which is roughly the size of a magazine spread. So like this, that size. And that's your poster. And then the A4 prints are this kind of size. Again, magazine size.
Can you show me that one again? I want
magazines
to go full screen on you. All right.
So roughly that size, magazine size. it's a British standard. I'm going to have to make sure on the next campaign that when I put measurements up, I put up the equivalent in inches for my American cousins. So there's 4 of those A4 prints in there that they're just black and white because, like I say, I wanted to focus on the artistry of the artists involved, and they're in color on the inside of the book. But then you get my poster as well, the A3. So you get all 5 posters and a book for that, which is I think that's a reasonable value for money. I think.
Yeah, seriously, and that comes out to approximately $52 USD, is what it's saying.
I put the postage is around $13-14, I think.
Really? Okay, that's reasonable.
Just for the book and the prints, but what I have done is I put an extra, not a lot, an extra price for sending out the A3 so that it's rolled up rather than folded.
Okay.
But that's a choice. You see, a lot of people have made that choice and seem to be very happy about it. So I do also have, I don't know how many I've got left, maybe 1 or 2, but I've got a secret perk for a Doctor Who print set.
Oh, dang.
Because I used to do a lot of work on Doctor Who and I still have a bunch of stuff left over, and that's for the same price. And in that you get 3 A3 page art, black and white page art prints signed by myself and Andrew Cartmel, who's the writer who used to do a lot of work on the actual program. I think he was a producer or director on the program, plus some black and white prints and an A3 color print of Doctor Who and all the prominent enemies that he has. So I can actually show that one if you're interested.
Hell yeah.
I'll just have a quick look.
While you're pulling that up, I'll read some more in the chat. Christine says, those are back issues I buy, lol, trying to get the 90s X-Men. Wow. At the moment, anyway, I'm sure it will be something else at a later date. Smile. Nice. A4 is a good size to make a frame set on walls.
Yeah, I think they can make nice prints.
Yeah, when I was actively collecting comics, which was the 80s, I approached it wrong when it came to things like, pre-established books like X-Men and Batman and Superman, because by the time I got into it, they were like already in the like the 200 issue range, and I viewed it at the time as like, oh man, they're so far along that how am I ever going to catch up? So in a lot of cases, I didn't even plunge right in and start getting the newest issues in the hundreds and 200s range, and instead I gravitated to the ones that had like low issue numbers, like the miniseries issues and like the Wolverine 1 through 4 and
right.
Oh, cool. Jeez. Damn. Holy moly.
So I think I may have 1 or 2 left of this. And it comes with these that print there, the 3 Doctors. This is a page of artwork, but it's a print of the artwork. So it's me and Andrew Cartmel sign this page. This print, and that's it. The other page I can't find. It's not in here. But
all right, man. Everybody, check your email. See if you can find your secret perk message.
Oh no, the secret perk was sent out. It came up later because I had some Doctor Who people saying that they'd really like something, so I made the secret perk. So I can I'll just go and check to see if it's still there. If Yeah, I'd be 2 seconds just checking it out and see if there's still any left.
Tatsunami says Shane Davis has green mask on. Lol. Live stream.
Perks. There we go.
Definitely have to catch that on replay. Let's see. Tatsunami says, "Wow." Christine says, "Yeah, I'm a bit gutted that I backed already when you put this up."
Well, again, just talk to me privately. Things can happen.
Oh man, I would be interested in that too. She's good golly.
How many? I've got 2 left of the Doctor Who swag bundle. There you go.
Oh really?
Yeah. So.
So reach out to you directly, or
well, there you go. There's the link, and I'll put it up in. I'll post it up again on Twitter. So.
All right. So you're okay with my sharing this in chat?
Oh yeah, no problem at all. Yeah.
And what is the secret? Let's see. Secret perk tier. All right. Oh boy. I was not aware of the secret perk tier. Was that something that was announced a while back in?
Yeah, I did it. I did it a while ago.
Was it like during one of your streams or Twitter?
Yeah. I did it on a stream with the rabbi from another planet, and then I made it live so that anybody who'd seen the tweet would basically see it. So I'll put it up again tomorrow.
All right. The secret Doctor Who swag bundle.
Yeah.
So 1 copy of the graphic novel, special set of Doctor Who prints, 1 A3 full color poster, 2 A4 black and white ink prints, 3 black and white A3 page art prints from 3 different Doctor Who adventure stories by Andrew Cartmel, signed by Andrew and Russ. Oh, jeez. Holy frick.
So if you're into Doctor Who, then, they're not bad. Andrew Cartmel was, he was either the last director or the last producer. I think he was the last director on Doctor Who in the late 80s before it went away for its hiatus. So he's very well respected in the Doctor Who community. So if people like that kind of thing, then it's a big deal. And Andrew himself is an absolutely darling, lovely person. He's a lovely guy.
Oh my gosh. Holy crap. That's freaking amazing. All right. I'm sorry. Please bear with me. I need a moment. I need just a moment. Okay. So you will find you are down to 1 more.
Oh, excellent. Thank you.
So, Christine.
Secret prick tier.
Secret prick tier. Yeah, Whovian Doctor Who. If any of you out there in the stream are into Doctor Who, take advantage of that link while you can, because there's 1 more left.
Cool.
1 more left.
Thank you.
Oh man, very sweet. Yeah, I'm glad to. Man, one of the things I watched often during my childhood was actually Doctor Who.
All right.
I forget the name of the actor. Was it David Tennant or something like that? But he was tall and slender. He had what looked like a trench coat, and he had a really long scarf, and he had like big frizzy hair.
What are you talking about? Tom Baker?
Yeah, that should be him. Yeah.
Yeah. Tom Baker was my doctor.
Nice.
He was from the late 70s, early 80s, and prior to him was John Pertwee, who I do remember fondly. But bizarrely, I felt that Matt Smith and the one before him.
I'm not good at remembering all the names.
I'm crap with names. The Scottish guy before him. Those two I felt were very much like Pertwee and Baker in their own way. They kind of mirrored what was going on back then. I loved Capaldi. I have to say, I think there was some bad writing, but he himself was potentially the best Doctor ever. And I got to draw him for 24 issues. So
wow.
I was really chuffed about that. Very, very chuffed about that.
Oh wow. Yeah, first time I spammed the chat with a secret perk tier, the Facebook had a conniption. Now that I do it a second time, Twitch has a conniption. I don't know what's going on. Christine, she knows her Doctor Who. Tom Baker. He was mine too. Smile. Tennant and Smith are my favorite.
That's it. David Tennant. God, why couldn't I remember his name? Yeah. Yes, you're right, Christine. Yeah, Capaldi deserved better writing.
Timber Vlog says Baker is my fave Doctor Who.
Would you like a jelly baby?
Christine says Capaldi deserved better writing. He could have been as good as Tom Baker with decent writing. He's an excellent actor.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, really. Yeah, he's excellent. Really cool.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching him. I watched him watch Doctor Who through like 3 or 4 iterations of Doctors, but I'd really love to get back into it. I imagine somewhere there's like a comprehensive Doctor Who DVD or Blu-ray collection.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, no doubt about it. I think you can get it on Netflix.
Well, I've stopped supporting Netflix ever since that Cuties.
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm the same. My son is Asperger's. And he does use Netflix quite a lot. Not for Cuties, it has to be said. But he does use it a lot for the animation and what have you. So unfortunately, it's just something I want to keep for him. But if it was just down to me, I'd have walked. So
if I'm not mistaken, Netflix has built-in parental controls, so you can kind of filter out certain things.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't need that, but just the fact that I wasn't particularly impressed, and some of the stuff they've got on there, I'm not particularly impressed by.
Yeah.
But he enjoys the portions of it that he watches, and there's not a lot of things he can really enjoy in that way. Being Asperger's, he's limited to his entertainments. So I stuck with it. Unfortunately, it was just one of those things.
Right. Hurt. Timber Vlogs agrees with Christine about Capaldi deserving better writing. Christine says, and he's a huge Doctor Who fan. He was in an episode with Donna and Tennant, the Vesuvius episode. Can't remember the episode name.
That's right. Yeah, he was the Roman and went down with the volcano. It was I can't remember the name of the place. It's where everybody. It's like this preserved city. Pompeii. Was it Pompeii? I'm sure it was Pompeii in the episode where everybody got toasted. But and he went down with it, and there was some kind of theory that that the Doctor chose that face from his memory when he when he moved from being Matt Smith to Capaldi, when he made the change. So I don't know quite how accurate that is, or whether that's just a fan theory, but it sounded quite cool.
Christine says yes, Pompeii.
That was a good episode.
If you can, Christine, get in on that secret perk here, because there's only one more of those Doctor Who swag bundles left.
Or if you've already backed the book, I may have something else that you can have if you message me.
Yeah, absolutely. Take him up on his offer. Sweet. And then, oops, I'm sorry, just a sec. Just a sec. Excuse me. Okay. All right. Make sure I'm on the right screen here. Then we've got Only Death Can Save Us graphic novel. So there's a book.
Just it, yeah. That I really tried to hit the $25, but the when I hit the button, it was $25. But the exchange rates have jumped me, and it's 26. So, if there's any way that I can take the price down for the next book, I will. If I can shave just a bit off, I would really like to.
Well, I mean, considering the length of the book, how many pages you've got, this is seriously very, very reasonable. I mean, for something that long, you could probably even go for 40 or 50.
Oh no!
But that's pretty darn cool.
I want as many people to read it as possible. So
oh heck yeah, yeah!
If I can keep it at that price, yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Graphic novel plus backer credit. Oh, that's nice. People are going to want that.
Yeah, I got a few doing that. Yeah.
Sweet.
There's quite a few people doing that.
And I like that. I forget what it's called, but I think it's called Scroll.
It's the Death's List of Eternity, I think.
Right.
I mean, that's what I called it. Yeah.
And then you've got this special border.
There'll be special things going on it. Yeah. It won't just be a list.
All right.
I'll do something special with it.
All right. And then you've got the guest artist 2A4 prints.
Yeah, that's the Amrit Birdie, Mike Emirates, and the one below it is the Renzo Rodriguez, Rob Willis.
Oh,
and if you just buy the book on its own, or the two books on their own, or the book with the artwork, or the book with your name in it, you can also add just the Rob Willis print if you want to as well. So the Rob Willis print is an add-on as well.
My goodness gracious me, oh my. And then all right, so let's see, guest stars. That's the Mike Emirates, Emirates Birdie. This is the Rob Willis, Renzo Rodriguez. 2-book bundle, save on postage. Yeah, that's what a lot of Indiegogo campaigns are doing to try and resolve or address the cost of shipping issue. It's definitely a good viable option.
Yeah, the postage isn't terrible actually from the UK. Again, if I can shave that down next time, I will. But it's not awful. I know that I pay more for getting books shipped to me from the US than I'm charging to send to the US. So sometimes you hit that and you look at the postage and there's a sharp intake of breath. And I didn't want that to happen. But at the end of the day, it is also the market that we're in. They're artisan creations, and they come with a little bit of a premium. So, horses for courses.
Tim Burr Vlog says, "Oh man, lol." Eric says, "Get it before the hamburger does." Yeah, I mean, if it's still sitting there later, there's a chance I might snag the other one. Eric says, 26. Oh, welcome, Eric. 26 is more than good. I agree with WyzGyz. I wouldn't mind paying 40 for an 80-page book that is perfect bound.
Oh, guess, Thank you. Bless you.
2 copies of the book. Oh, I was just going to mention real quick. We're starting to close in on the stream. What was I going to say? Oh, something that's starting to become a thing now is working with other ComicsGate creators, whereby you can you have a contact like in the States, and then they can help you with distribution in the States.
Yeah,
and try and reduce your postage costs. And like with a lot of UK campaigns, the postage average is somewhere around 20-25. If you're working with someone who's already local in the States, you might be able to drop it as low as 15.
I've got this at 15 already, just for the book, or the book and the A4 prints, or the book and the A4 artwork. It's just a little bit more for the A3 because I wanted to roll it up and send it in its own tube. But yeah, I have sent out. I've been probing, let's call it that, and I have several people in the States that I'm talking to about doing that kind of thing.
Yeah,
so, it may not happen for the first book because I'm a bit of an OCD control freak. And I like to know exactly what's going on. But with the next book, I think maybe that's something I might try. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. Let's see here. What was I going to say? Excuse me. Yeah, John Malin is one of the creators who's getting into that game. Fulfillment for other creators. I don't know if you're familiar with John Malin.
Yeah. I was on John Malin's show a little while ago. He kindly had me on, and I showed the book.
Excellent.
I got some sales from it, so that was great. Yeah,
fantastic. Single book plus A4 black and white character sketch. Nice. You've got the book plus original page art.
Yep.
Nice. Original page art, sweet. Yeah, there's 10 available, 9 left. 10 total.
Yeah.
But
9 left. 9 left.
And the collector's bundle.
Yeah, the millionaire bundle is still available.
So that gives you what, one of everything or something?
Yeah, it gives you all 4 of the black and white prints, the A3 Four Horsemen poster, an A4 character sketch by me, a piece of page art, the 50 by 50 canvas print of the cover, plus 2 books, one to read, one to put on your shelf, and obviously also all the stretch goals. So you get a 4 postcard set in there if I can get to the stretch goals, and the patch and the extra poster and that kind of stuff.
Nice. Let's go ahead and run the trailer once more, this new trailer.
$20 billion years ago, as the second age gave way to the third, one last great war raged between Satana's forces of cruel chaos, who had ruled for a sliver of eternity, and the forces of order, who sought to remake things anew. The Supreme called her warlords the Pillars of Creation. Their purpose was not to bring apocalypse, but to welcome forth the new age. Over time, their true purpose would be forgotten, for such is the fate of legends, and only their names would be remembered. War, famine, pestilence, and death.
Damn, I love things. Wretched things. You preach to the converted, brother. Their vile number seems limitless. 6,666 by my count.
They have numbers, aye, but their arrogance will yet be their undoing. Mark my words, brothers.
You speak true, Sister Pestilence. Even now, my mistress builds a prison to house him. The prison of love. She asks only that we lead them there. This is the word.
Then let us draw succor from it.
And thus it came to pass that the third age began with the vanquishing of evil and the renewal of life. But evil is patient. It clings to the dark places and waits for its moment to strike.
We shall know glory this day, my brothers.
What was won that day was a battle, not the war. That would come later.
We shall know glory this day, my brothers.
Wow, that's a trip.
I'm really pleased with the way it's come out. Like I say, the voice actors were just tremendous. So, and I just the fact that you can go and get them for such a cheap price is incredible.
Mm-hmm. Let me check something real quick. Just a sec. Excuse me. Yeah, that's pretty trippy. I really enjoyed that. Let's see here. All right, so Christine says, I think U.S. postage to the U.K. is a lot more than U.K. to the U.S.
It is indeed, yeah.
Eric says, the more I think about it, $26 is such a low price. You drew the pages, colored it, and got it lettered. All of that costs money and man hours to do, and 80 pages is a lot. Not to mention your art is great too.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you. Well, I just hope everybody enjoys it when they get it. That's the aim. That's the aim.
It looks like a lot of fun for sure. You know what I find interesting in CG? There seems to be quite a number of books that I'm seeing. Like, I don't know if it's actually a trend or if it's just purely coincidental, but like I've seen several creations that revolve around like the Thor Ragnarok era and type of storytelling. And then I've seen others that are about death. And it is pretty trippy. And yours is like the third or fourth book I've backed that involved death.
I have noticed a few other books that I didn't realize had death in them. I'd like to think that my depiction of death is unique. He's the superhero in this. He's the good guy, basically. And although he's lacking in a little humanity, which is why his counterpart it works so well with him, because she's very human. So that there's that, hopefully, that depth and breadth in the story, that he isn't just like this cosmic tale. There's also, interpersonal relationship stuff going on. And again, it's not rammed down your throat. It's not slice of life. It's just people interacting, characters interacting on their journey through the story, which it's always all about entertainment.
Yeah, absolutely. Excuse me. Christine says, I normally have to pay an average of $25 for a single floppy.
Good Lord.
Eric says, I would pay $40 to $50 easily. UCG artists spoil us. All.
Indie creators are more passionate, I think, about the book, and I don't think they're more passionate as a creator. I think there's lots of very passionate creators in mainstream. They're more passionate as the publisher, because in mainstream books, it's a very corporate world, and they're selling lunchboxes and films and all kinds of peripheral stuff. And back in the day when Marvel was still a corporate, DC was still a corporate, but back in the 70s and the 80s, their primary selling process, what they were most involved in, was selling comics. Millions of them. That's where they made their money. The passion for making comics came from the top down. But that passion from the top down isn't there anymore, because at the very top, the corporate nature of it, you don't make enough money in comics. It's all about it's all about the IP. And indie creators, we're all about the comics. We're all about making comics for the sake of making comics. I'm not after a Netflix deal. I mean, I would love to see Death on a Saturday morning. I would love to see Death on a Saturday morning cartoon.
Oh yeah,
but just like the old X-Men comic cartoons. But I am not in it for that. I'm in it to make comic books. I'm in it to make comics and have people read, because comics are just such an important medium. But also tell the stories, have that connection to an audience.
Yeah.
If I can, I've got 142 backers. Damn, thank you. If I can make it 500, it's my career. That's it. It's a salary. I don't need to go and I don't need to go and do storyboarding for someone else. 500 backers. That's me. That's all I do. That's me. That's
yeah, for sure.
They say that if you have 1,000 dedicated fans, you don't have to do anything else for the rest of your life. Because those people will want to return to your work, and there'll be an interchange between those fans. There'll be enough of them that they don't all have to buy your stuff all the time. Just enough of them are interested in your work for you to continue producing that work and entertaining and connecting with that audience, which is what indie comics is all about, connecting with a far more dedicated audience than the mainstream books are doing.
Yeah, for sure. Let me see. Christine says, 80-page perfect bound is an amazing price. That's for sure. That's what I was thinking too. This trailer rocks.
Oh, thanks.
Eric says, War and Death looks so cool. Tatsunami says, USA Books, 48 pages minimum, $25 and $20 plus shipping, European backer.
Yeah, that's pretty much what you're paying. Yeah.
Eric says, they all look cool, but I like War and Death the most.
Yeah, they're cool.
Eric has a question about Death. Is the skull a mask or his face?
It is his face, but it is not a skull. There you go.
Very clever. Christine says, yeah, it does depend on the campaign, though. I've had it as low as $12, but that was with shipping actually in the UK. and as high as $30. So I averaged it at $25.
About there.
Tatsunami says it's awesome to see more European books shipping.
Yeah, we are here.
Yeah,
we are here. It's just reticent. I think there's quite a few UK people on Kickstarter, and you know, whatever you think of either platform, there's no doubt that there's a kind of an audience for each platform. And personally, I like what's going on Indiegogo.
yeah.
I like the kind of books that are on there, ComicsGate or not. The books that are on Indiegogo are more like the kind of books that I like. There are the odd few on Kickstarter, and I do go and back some of those occasionally, but most of the stuff that I really like is on Indiegogo because it seems to be, I think you can see it in the trailers, and again, I don't want to put any other creators down, but it seems when you go to a trailer on Indiegogo, it's like, this is a story, this is my comic, there you go, and it's all about the comic. Whereas when you go to a Kickstarter trailer, it tends to be a lot about the creator and their world and, you know, how they came to be, and it's like, as much as I'm interested in that, I'm really here to buy books.
Right.
So you might be a great creator, but I just want to see what you're putting on the page. I'm not really interested in your life from that perspective. Do you know what I mean? That shouldn't be the thing that sells me the book. I might want to investigate you as a creator later on if I think your book is great, okay, and I really love what you do, but you're not going to sell me your book on the fact that you are, you know, Joe Blogs and a father and somebody who loves kittens. You know, it's like, I'm not interested in that. Show me the book. So there does tend to be this kind of different kind of way of selling things on each platform. So I'm driven towards the Indiegogo platform simply because most of the books are bonkers. I love, you know, sci-fi and fantasy and nuts.
Yeah.
You know, and that's really what I want out of a comic. I want to escape the world and just enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Every once in a blue moon, I'll back something on Kickstarter. But I predominantly, you know, am a big Indiegogo supporter right now. So I might back about 1% of my total comic books are going to be about 1% on Kickstarter and 99% and Indiegogo.
Yeah.
Christine says that's a kick-ass trailer.
Thank you.
Tatsunami says nice, thumbs up. Christine says, I think Heroes, Death, and Zombies are the favorite books. Yeah, I see a lot of those types of books being released.
I do have a zombie script, but I never drew it. So
Tatsu says, I had enough about zombies. Tatsunami says EBS has a feather dress too on live stream. Oh my gosh. Oh dear. I think he has these outfits like made for him now. Pretty funny. Yeah. Christine says it's a shame I won't use Kickstarter. I don't like how they take the shipping at a later date because I forget if a book has taken a year to ship. I want to pay for it all at once. Yeah. I have to agree with that too.
I'm kind of driven towards Indiegogo for in general the kind of books that are on there. As a fan, as a consumer, although I do buy the odd book from Kickstarter, from a business perspective, from creating my comic and selling it to people, which is what this is all about. Kickstarter was awful as a UI. As an interface, I didn't like it at all. Couldn't get on with it. And Indiegogo had an excellent user interface behind it. And really, what nailed it for me also was the in-demand option. I just felt like it was a no-brainer to be able to leave your book there, and so if there were people that came late to the campaign, they could pick up a single book. And be part of the campaign, even though they'd missed it, because it is a window. and you can't catch everybody in that window, but you still want as many people to read the book as possible. So it definitely was. There was a business decision there as well as a consumer decision.
Yeah, based on all the guests I've had and all the Indiegogo campaigns I've seen, it seems like you're doing it right. The first 30 days of funding on Indiegogo, and then a second day, 30 days of funding, and then going in demand, because you get to take advantage of all the peaks, and valleys, and introduce new content, introduce updates for your supporters, your backers. So I think this is a pretty darn well designed campaign. One thing I didn't catch was, or I forgot to ask, is in your update section, I had not checked, but did you mention the Doctor Who secret tier at all?
I don't know. I don't know. I can't remember.
Because that would definitely be a good place to have announced it. If you, you might have covered it. I had not even taken the time.
I announced the stretch goals. I don't think I did. I don't think I did that because I was at the time I was kind of leaving it for a particular audience. It's and of course if you've already backed, it's I don't know. Anyway, it's out there now. There's only one left. Grab it while you can.
Yeah, no doubt.
I will tweet. I will tweet it again tomorrow. So.
For sure. Because it's like, oh my gosh. I'm kind of torn. On one hand, I feel like being greedy and getting it to myself, but at the same time, I feel I need to advertise it to the world and make sure everyone else has the opportunity as well.
There is a smaller version that I let out for an interview I did on another website, and that just has one print, so it's one A4 black and white print, and that's much cheaper. So what I'll do is I'll tweet them tomorrow, and I'll make sure and link you in on the tweet so you can see them. It's nowhere near as good a value as the swag bundle because you don't get all the posters in it, but it's just like a one-off A4 print, and obviously I'll sign them because they came from the Doctor Who strip. So
right. Speaking of which, while I'm at it, why don't I just tweet it to the world while it's on my mind? Let's see here. Just a sec. Attention, Doctor Who fans, back the secret tier now. Now. Read before I take the plunge and get for myself again.
Do you want me to give you the one for the extra one?
Oh yeah, sure.
I'll give you the link for the extra one as well.
If you want, I think you can also drop it in the chat.
Yeah, I'll do that.
That way, the people in chat can take advantage of it as well.
Perks. Just the interface on this. Anybody in the chat or anybody who watches this on replay, I can't say enough good things about the interface for the Indiegogo campaign manager. It's excellent.
Oh, nice. Yeah, there's some areas where I'm told that it could use improvement, but overall, it's often preferable to creators.
Yeah, without doubt, that there is some. some places it could be better, but there you go. Right. So that's there's 7 of these left, and they're just 1A4 print.
All right, and I don't know if you're familiar, but on my channel I try and cover both ComicsGate content as well as F.A.M.I.L.Y Menace. And
right.
F.A.M.I.L.Y Menace, if you're not familiar, or to anyone who's not familiar, it's like it's very similar to ComicsGate in that it's more a movement or an ideology whereby the creators from Hollywood are screwing up franchises and IPs that we grew up loving, including Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, Thundercats, Ghostbusters, and the fans have had enough, and they're sick of this garbage that Hollywood's spitting out and regurgitating to us. There's a couple YouTubers who I really love, including Doomcock, aka Overlord DVD, and Nerdrotics.
Yeah.
So
Gary and Doomcock are I love them. I love Gary. Just because he comes from a perspective of knowledge. Does anybody know that he had a comic shop? But he does. He comes from a background of knowledge. And I started watching those two quite some time ago, before they had massive subscription lists. And Doomcock, I don't always agree with everything he says, which is a great thing, to be able to not agree with someone. But his presentation makes me cackle. I just love listening to him.
Oh my
God,
so
funny. And with the with Cthulhu, the little, what's his name? Just so funny and so
Harvey.
Well done. Harvey. The video channel is so well produced. So they do make me smile. I feel, obviously I'm feeling for Gary at the moment because of his problem that because he's had to move out and his wife's business and all the rest of it. And the fact that he shares his life online with us like that that's what YouTube is all about. It doesn't matter what group you're in. It doesn't matter where you come from. It's all about connecting with people and networking. And what's great about YouTube is, like, you and I can see each other. We can talk to each other, and people in the chat can see us. They know that we're being honest. Right. And that's what YouTube is great for. So yeah, I love those two guys. They're great. Doomcock just makes me laugh.
Oh my gosh, yeah, he's like a one-man variety show.
Yeah.
I really enjoy when he sings, and he's got a pretty good voice.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he cracks me up. Absolutely.
He's real knowledgeable on pop culture, and I get a kick out of them. I've kind of fallen behind on the Nerdrotics news, but I'm hoping that what you were talking about was a move for the better.
He seems to think so. I mean, I only drop in. I don't get a chance to watch every video on YouTube, obviously, that I'd like to. But occasionally I drop in on his channel and see what he's doing. I very rarely get to, because of the time difference, it's rare that I get to see a lot of the people live. So I kind of watch I kind of have the videos running while I'm working during the day. And I listen.
Are they expanding their operation?
I don't know. I think he might be doing something, but he's kind of just moving out of San Francisco.
Oh man, yeah, that's an expensive place to live. Regarding that other link you dropped, the other special secret tier, what was contained in it again?
It's like the Doctor Who thing, except all it is just one A4 print. So one print this size, plus Only Death Can Save Us. So it's just a little Doctor Who print.
Oh, okay. It is a Doctor Who print. All right.
Yeah, it's that much cheaper. It's only it's only $30 or something, rather than the one with all the prints in, or $25, whatever.
Let's see here. Let's see.
In fact, I tell you what it is. It's $25, and I've thrown in a print for free. That's why. There you go.
25 USD?
Yeah. Well, thereabouts. Thereabouts.
Oh, all right.
The exchange rate.
Oh, yeah. All right, so drop that in the chat, and then drop this in the Twitter.
It's basically just some, if you're a Doctor Who fan and you want to buy the book.
Yep, for sure. I mean, there are Doctor Who fans out there for sure. That's why I wanted to alert Nerdrotics and Doomcock, because they have big audiences. Let me see. I forgot to add. Oh, well, anyway.
Sim's here. Hi, Sim.
Oh, nice. All right. Oops, shoot. So let me catch up on chat. It's a shame. I won't use Kickstarter. I don't like how they take the shipping at a later date, because I forget if a book has taken a year to ship. I want to pay for it all at once. Yep, I agree. I don't really like Kickstarter's website either. It's not as user-friendly, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree with that too. Russ, do you have a YouTube channel that you stream on?
I do, yes. I have a YouTube channel. I stream on a Sunday night with a guy called Lucifer Storm. He's a writer, and we're very British. We take the piss and we talk comics, and we have guests on. But also, I have my own YouTube channel where you get the replays of those live streams. But you also have I've got a few art tutorials on there. I've got some breakdowns of colors from things like Ben 10 and Marvel. And I've also got some screen captures of inks and pencils and that kind of thing.
Nice. Yeah. Holy cow. That's something I actually should have. Let's see.
Okay, I'll put that in the chat. Oh, there it is.
Oh, all right. You beat me to it.
Yeah.
Whoop, there it is. All right, drop that in there. Make note of it for myself. All right. Good question. Tatsunami agrees with Christine. Christine says EVS was dressed as a pirate yesterday. Yeah, that was a good costume.
He makes me laugh as well.
Yeah, he has a new costume each stream. Yeah. Eric says Skits is on Kickstarter now too. Great campaign. Oh man, Skits is awesome.
Yeah, there's beautiful artwork on that.
I didn't realize they were going to Kickstarter, but I supported them on the Indiegogo campaign for sure. Tatsunami says he put it off. Laughing. Kickstarter doesn't have in demand either. Yeah, that's one thing that Indiegogo has over Kickstarter for sure. EVS is a character, lol.
Certainly is.
Tatsunami says, yes, it's not a good user experience.
It isn't, no.
Eric says, yep, Adam Post leaves his campaign in demand. Same with John Hervery, and that got quite a bit more money because of it. Yeah, John Malin mentioned he does his funding campaign and then he cuts it off. He doesn't do in demand at all, and he admits that he's probably leaving $10,000 to $15,000 on the table as a result. But it adds a sense of urgency as well. So there's its pros and cons to it.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I think as a first campaign, I've really got to give myself the biggest window of opportunity I can.
Yeah.
So obviously, I want people to fund the campaign within the first 30 days. What that gave me was proof of concept. I knew that I hit a target. It meant that I had an audience that I could move forward. So I extended the 30 days because what I wanted to do was give the campaign as much of a chance as possible to hit the stretch goals, because I really would dearly love to put all those things into the packages for all the backers, give people as much as I can to give them as best value from the book and the product as possible. And then leave it in demand, so if people are coming late to the party, they can get hold of the book as well, and then hopefully set it up for that second book so that I can extend my reach and extend my audience.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let's see here. Yeah, and I agree with that other really good point you made previously, where sometimes people don't hear about your campaign until after.
No, that's right. Yeah. The other thing I'd want to do is once the campaign's finished and it goes into in demand, I will be overprinting, and I'd also like to send books to some people. So, for instance, I'd love to send a book to Gary. I'd love to send a book out to reviewers so that people can look at the book and give an honest and open opinion about it. And then once they're talking about it, then maybe other people will find it in demand and say, well, it's got a good review. I can go and buy it now. Whereas in Kickstarter, that's it. Your campaign's finished, and you have to then deliver that book, that product, via another place, via your website, via PayPal, via an eBay shop, whatever it might be. Whereas if you're sitting there in demand, you can leave it there for a few months and pick up custom. So, yeah.
Eric says, and like you said, it's perfect for people who are late to the party, like I was with Black Tiger. Yeah, I think I stopped to back Black Tiger too. Old Uncle E.
Ribbit.
Yeah, I agree, Eric. Christine is also ComicsGate and Fandom Menace. Right on. Let's see. Welcome, Simon Poitier. Hello, everyone. He's now. Yeah. Everybody back. Only death can save us, because only death can save us. Not anybody
from 2020. Only death can save us from 2020.
You got that right. Everyone has to have a drink now, lol.
Yeah. I really should have had some vodka while I was drinking.
Russ does not like labels, and I respect that. Yep, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm not into that, but I tell you what, I am into good, honest, decent people, and I've met a lot and been on a lot of streams with some really nice, genuine, generous with their time people. So it's there's great people here in CG. There are great people out there in the indie world, and I love everyone that I've got in touch with so far and been involved with. I can't tell you just what an eye opener it's been to go out into the YouTube world and find all these other creators. I get involved also with, like I was saying earlier on, with Marshall Lee and the AAA community over there. I speak to all the guys over on Indie Vault. I've been on a few of their streams as well. They're great. And they don't give a monkeys about where you come from. If you've got a comic book, they're going to push it, and that's all I want. That's all I care about. It's like creating great content and getting it out to people, and being professional while doing it. I'm not going to be rude to anybody because they don't like my book. That's their opinion,
Absolutely. Yep, for sure. Thanks, Tetsunami, for keeping me on track. Got to catch up with the chat. Let's see here. Got the link to his good show. Subscribe. Thumbs up. Sim, what the F? I was not sent that.
Thanks, Sim. Thanks, Sim.
Yep, CG is a hat group.
A hat.
Exactly. Top hat in this case.
Oh, the world is just, hasn't it gone mad? Oh, dear.
CG is a cult.
Cultivated group.
For
Oh,
sure.
dear.
Oh my gosh. This has been absolutely amazing. Everybody back, Only Death Can Save Us. Back at once, back at twice, back at 3 times if you can. As stated earlier, there's, I think there's still one more secret Doctor Who swag bundle available.
There is, and there's one free print with a book. 7, free prints with a book.
7 free
so
prints.
if you can't afford that bundle, but you want a little bit of Doctor Who, you can snag a book and 1 print for free. There you go.
Small swag. One more. So let's see here. Doctor Who big swag bundle. 1 left. And then Doctor, oh, it's over here, isn't it? No, it's this one, the second one. Excuse me. Hey, WyzGyz Entertainment, when am I getting my invite for TFTN? Oh crap, I'm blanking out. What does TFTN stand for again?
Hey, when am I getting my invite for
Oh, what? Do you know what it? Oh man.
No, TFTN. Peace out, Tatsu.
Take it easy, Tatsunami. Oh man, everyone.
Tales from the Netverse, of course.
Oh crap. DM me. We gotta get you on.
Yeah, get him on. I have bought that book. I am waiting. I am waiting in anticipation because that looks great. He's got a cracking trailer as well. A fan put a voiceover over on his artwork, and it's great.
Oh man, yeah. Oh man. Doctor Who, small tier, 7 left.
Christine, got your message. I'll sort something out tomorrow.
Sweet. Excuse me. All right, so we better close this out.
Yeah.
It went on a little longer than I anticipated, but it was a lot, definitely a blast. Please do the honors and share with everyone how you can be found on social media.
Okay, you can find me on YouTube as Comic Book Black Belt. You can find me at my website, russleach.com and comicbookblackbelt.com. You can find out more about the book at onlydeathcansaveus.com. There is a link there to the campaign if you are watching the replay. If you've already backed, thank you very much. If you haven't, go back it. There's stretch goals available. You can also find me on the Twitter, on the Fleecebook, on the Instagram, and on the Parlay when it works. There you go.
The Twitter and Fleecebook. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Christine says, thanks, Russ. You can find me on, Facebook and YouTube under WyzGyz Entertainment, on Twitter at WyzGyz Tweets, on Twitch at WyzGyz Twitches, at Parlay under WyzGyz Parlays. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Mark the bell for notifications so you make sure you don't miss a video. And Timber Timber Vlog says, I think I'll go with Indiegogo if and when I get my book going. Yeah, definitely keep going on that.
Cool.
Work on it a little bit every day. Thanks, Christine. Was a great stream. Thanks, WyzGyz and Russ and everyone in chat. I appreciate everyone who came in and joined us. Simon says, Indiegogo is the best, but we do need to reach out. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Timber Vlog says, what's fun?
Was fun too.
And thank you, everyone who joined us in chat. Thanks to everyone who will see this on replay. And thanks especially to our very special guest, Russ Leach.
Thank you for having me.
And one final refresh, 7690, 142 backers, and 7768, 143 backers. Sweet. And again, everyone, if somebody doesn't get that Doctor Who swag bag final one, that's secret tier, I might end up scoring it for myself because I'm greedy sometimes. So you've been warned. Eric says Indiegogo takes a smaller cut when compared to Kickstarter, from what I've heard. I've heard that too.
Yeah, it's
Eric,
different. It's a 5% from Indiegogo. I think it's closer to 10%. But you do have to worry about, you do have to make sure that you go in open-minded. It's a 2.9% transaction fee, and they keep some money behind if you go into in demand as well.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's not huge amounts. It's not huge amounts. I think in total it's like 12%. And of course, 5% of that you will get back. But, you know.
Yeah, there's also like transaction fees between when I buy like UK books and I think Australia books. For, I get charged by Visa like 10-15 cents each time.
Really?
So,
you do?
Yeah, wow. I don't know where that comes from. No one's explained it to me.
The consumer shouldn't pay anything. But
yeah, that's what I say.
Shit happens.
Yeah, there you go. Shit happens, and then you die, and then you pay taxes. Eric says, good night, folks. Great stream tonight. Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Bye, all. It's okay. I don't like quality.
Well, fuckity bye.
There you go. On that note, ending broadcast in 3, 2, 1. Bye.